Hello everyone, welcome back. My name's HN and we are in a brand new game where you can become Godzilla and fight massive mechs in destructible cities. Let's go and take a little bit of a look in the main base of operations. This game is not released yet, but so far with what it does have, it has so much potential. This is the creature that you end up becoming, a Godzilla-like monster to destroy and go and rampage through the city. There are so many cool Easter eggs through this entire little hub area, just like with some of these potions right here. You go and just what we're here for today. The aim of the game right here is to become the monster and destroy as much as you can. Now, I do have my ups and downs with this game right here, as the hands are very far apart and they're not actually touching the controller. So it is very far right now. Like where my hands are here, my arms aren't this long, let's be honest. And my only second con with this, before we do get into this any further, you will notice that there will be ski movement when you go into the game. This is very horrible, and I don't like it one bit. So if you do manage to get a control of the ski movement to get into here, click on Joy Movement so that you get regular movement like this. Or if you get motion sickness easily, move on to Teleport Movement. But preferably, this is what I went with because this gives the normal controls. And this is where we're going to go next. We'll go through here and we've got a few cool little boards. Way to use Giant Monster, World Conquest, Extort Europe, Extort other places. So when you finally spawn into the game, this is what you look like. Again, your hands are going to be very far out. It's going to feel a little bit weird because this isn't usually how a VR game is set up. This is the only thing I'd say that kind of threw me off with this whole setup. But playing in the actual game, in the map is very simplistic in terms of the city base and where it is. It's very secluded on the islands right here. The buildings, as you can see, are destructible, and it is very fun to go and do this. But as in terms of gameplay and the repetition of what you do in this, it is pretty much straight on forward, destroy and punch and kill the robots and destroy and etc. There are point systems in this game where you can go and collect enough radiation points to go and get new skills and perks for your monster to make him a little bit stronger or have extra power abilities. The only thing that did kind of throw me off with the physics of the game, it does make you punch a lot slower just because of the sheer size of you, which I can see the idea of what they were trying to do here, but when it came up to actually fighting a mech, the mechs were really slow at their punches, and their main weak spots always seemed to be their legs, as every time I encountered one and I tried to fight it, it instantly collapsed, and then once it did collapse, it was pretty easy to get other mechs down to half health. Now, besides the disadvantages and the cons of this game does do a very good job of making you feel like a giant monster. It just does make it a little bit sad because it could have so much more in the game to make it a little bit more exciting. Having 3 perks dotted around the map to maybe use against some mechs, make the mech bosses a little bit bigger, even add some humans or NPCs to the map to maybe throw at the mechs. Maybe get it a little bit gory, or maybe make it a little bit more brutal. But in terms of the arcade style VR game it is, and what you can do with it, I'd say it's a game that you can certainly go to maybe once or twice in the current state that it is, to go and play a few times. It is single player, so you will be playing on your own, but in terms of the punching and the hand movements and where everything is at, it does get a little bit confusing, and it can maybe give you head strain if you're not very strong with the VR movements. Although, apart from all this, it was very fun and it was very satisfying to go and through the mechs through all the buildings that you can do, because every building that you do end up coming across is destructible and it can break. It's just the mechs, they could be improved with the fighting a little bit more and have a little bit more excitement or surprise perks to them to make the fights a little bit more interesting, apart from a few power swings that they do very, very slowly, so it gives you time to go and punch them, or maybe do a little bit of a faster or harder challenge mode. So many ideas that you could implement to the game, but as in terms of a first start basis of what you've got here, it's a great game to get into if you've never played the Monster Giant simulations before. To the creators of the game who made this, you have done an excellent job, as two brothers were behind this, creating this game. It is available on PC very, very soon, but as of the state of it right now, it could do with a lot more work. But what they have created and what they have done here, as far as I'm aware, there is not a lot of games like this, either on the Quest or PC Store. You do have cheaper copies and cheaper examples, which don't really offer a lot to the table, but if you like the smash and grab sort of simulation of fighting games in VR, and you have a lot of space where you're able to throw and fling things in the VR space around, like the mechs, the buildings, the cars, this is one of those games that you may or may not enjoy. The UI system could be improved for future references to make it a little bit more appealing to the eye, but in terms of the game right now, I think it's got a good future ahead of it, depending on what the developers do in the future. But let me know your thoughts and opinions, folks, on what you think. As always, my name's Chen, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye now.